One of my goals in 2026 is to actually be as honest and transparent as I possibly can be with everyone on this channel about my own trading ability and showing you guys the reality of what it takes to be a trader, showing you the ups like I have been doing, but also showing you the downs which I haven't been doing. I've never actually shown a loss on this channel, and not because I don't take losses, but because I'm kind of scared to show the losses on my channel. I feel like it's going to ruin my credibility, but that's just not the truth, right? The truth is losses happen and I need to be transparent. I need to show you guys the losses because that is the reality of trading, and me only showing you the wins is not helping anyone, okay? So in this video, I'm actually going to be showing you a loss. This is the first time on this channel I'm showing you a loss because losses do happen in trading, and this is actually the first trade I've taken of 2026 and it has been a loss. Now, this is not a brilliant start to the year, don't get me wrong. I wish I had won the first trade. However, I know I'm going to come back from this and I'll be documenting this entire trading year on this channel. So if you are looking to learn how to trade and follow the journey and see how a 7-figure funded trader actually trades over the span of a year, I will show you everything on this channel, right? This is a purely educational channel. On my other channel, I do vlogs, so you can check that out. It's linked in the description. I've been trading for 2 years. I'm funded with over $1 million, like I said. I've helped hundreds of students learn how to trade by learning the Asia range funding formula. And the purpose of this channel, like I said, is purely just for education. So let me show you the loss that I took and explain why I took the loss, but also why I think it was a very, very valid loss to take. And I'm not actually upset with myself for taking this loss at all, as I stuck to my plan. And losses, like I said, do happen and you can't avoid losing. Anyone who says to you in trading that they have a 100% win rate is lying to you. My win rate, I would say, is about 65, 60%, sometimes 70% if it's a good month. And that's the reality of trading, right? You can't win every trade. You are going to lose, and you need to understand this, or else you're going to go into trading with a bad mindset, thinking you should win every trade. And of course, that's not going to happen. You're going to be demotivated, you're going to quit, and you're never going to see success. So let's break down the losing trade of the year. All right, guys, so here is the chart. And in order for me to explain to you the reason why I took this loss, I need to explain the higher time frame so you can understand the reasoning for my bias, because every single trade I take is always backed by a higher time frame, as that is, in my opinion, the best way to improve your win rate and decrease the amount of losses that you do take if you are going to take losses. Because if you're trading on the right side of the market and you're doing everything in terms of the higher time frame and following the higher time frame, your win rate just will be higher. It's just a guaranteed way to improve your win rate. So first things first, let's look here on the daily time frame and let's see what was happening right here on EURUSD on the daily time frame when the week begun. Okay, so let's actually start it on Monday. Okay, so that you can understand my thought process for the entire week. Okay, as we can see right here on EURUSD on the daily time frame, we are clearly in an uptrend, right? Clearly uptrend. We are clearly going higher, and what we are seeing right here is, in my opinion, a bit of consolidation before we hopefully, at least this is what I was thinking, continue the trend back to the upside to target the next point of liquidity, which would have been, in this example, this high right here, and also this structural high up here, which is actually one of the most recent highs on EURUSD in the last couple of months. Okay, so that was basically my reasoning for looking for buys, which is what I was focusing on, because the higher time frame was looking bullish, and I thought what we were seeing here on the daily time frame, if we just zoom in, was simply just a pullback to maybe come and sweep potentially this low right here. Okay, tap into this daily fair value gap on EURUSD, this one right here, and then maybe reverse and go back to the upside, okay, which is what I just said to you guys. I was looking for buys, the higher time frame was looking bullish, this would have made sense, okay, and that was my reasoning for the bias being bullish. Now, let's go on the 4 hour and let's see what ended up happening when I started looking for a trade. And by the way, the day I took this trade was a Tuesday, because I do not trade Monday, as I have seen a very, very big increase in my losing rate when I trade on Mondays. So I've taken Mondays out because that's one of the simplest ways to improve your win rate, is by removing the day that you lose the most on. So I don't trade Mondays, and as a result, what I would have done on this day is simply just let Monday play out, see what happens, and then as you can see, Monday made its way into that fair value gap, is actually respected it perfectly, as you can see right here on the 4-hour time frame, after grabbing this liquidity from this low right down here. And then it gave us an amazing rejection back to the upside. And at this point I was thinking, okay, this looks perfect. This is setting us up amazingly for buys on Tuesday. And I don't think you guys would disagree with me when I say that, because I think that it does make a whole lot of sense. But the market was trending to the upside. We had taken out liquidity from this low here, tapped and rejected from a daily fair value gap. And now when I was looking at the charts here, I was thinking, this is a perfect setup. This is the low of the week, probably made down here on Monday. And maybe now on Tuesday, we can look for some sort of buys to continue the move to the upside and target this high up here. Okay, that is exactly what I was thinking. That's why I went to take buys on Tuesday, but obviously that didn't end up working out, which I'll show you guys right now. But I don't think it was a bad trade at all, and I'm very, very happy I took the trade because it was following my higher time frame bias, and the actual trade itself was very good as well. So now let's go into the hourly time frame, and I'll show you what happened on Tuesday. So let's play out Monday, see what ended up going on for Monday. So I went a bit too far forward here, but as you can see, okay, Monday played out. It ended up closing actually bullish, and it was respecting this fair value gap on the daily time frame. It was clearly giving us a big amount of buying pressure coming in, and you can see this from this buying pressure right here, leaving fair value gaps on the hourly time frame, which is a very good sign that there is strong buying pressure coming in from a key level when it is leaving fair value gaps, right? That shows you that there's a lot of volume coming in. And as a result, on Tuesday, I was pretty much looking for a continuation of this buying pressure. I was thinking, okay, let's take out the Asia low, tap into this fair value gap here maybe, and then continue going higher. That to me looked like a very good setup. And that's basically what I ended up taking. So that was the idea for the day. I sent this into my community as well because I trade live with them every single day, and I always send them my trade ideas. So they would have also taken this trade too, and they would have also lost, right? That is the reality of trading. And you know, anyone who tells you otherwise and tells you that the community wins every trade, they're just lying to you. Like, don't get me wrong, my community do win most of their trades, but this was also something that did happen. You know, we do lose as well. And I want to be fully transparent in 2026 with you guys, because a lot of traders are not. And you might think your favorite trader is the best trader in the world, but I'm telling you right now, there is no one who is as good as you think at trading. And unfortunately, it's because social media has a very, very a hard time. There's a lot of hate that comes to traders who are actually honest, right? Like me making this video here showing a loss. There's going to be people in the comments saying, oh, I'm a bad trader, blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't have taken the trade for whatever reason. But, you know, this is trading. You can't be 100% right all the time. And I think, at least I would prefer, if I was watching me make YouTube videos, I'd prefer if I was being honest rather than lying to you guys like everyone else does in the trading space. So, you know, you guys can do what you want after watching this video, but we did take a loss here. So as you can see, we would have been waiting for the Asia low to get swept. So let's go to the 15-minute time frame right here. And that is what I would have been doing. So I would have marked out the Asia low, which is down here. I would have been saying to my community on the call, yo guys, let's wait for the Asia low to get swept, tap into this fair value gap right here, and then look for a buy. But actually, I remember it wasn't this fair value gap I was focused on. I was more focused actually on the one above, okay? And the reason being is because I thought we were looking very, very bullish, and I didn't think we would come all the way down into this fair value gap here. So I was kind of focused on the most recent one, which is this one here. Okay, so I was actually looking for buys in this one. And as we can see, price does eventually end up coming down. So let's play it out. And by the way, I only trade during the London session. So anything that is happening before 8 AM, I'm not focused on. And that's just because it improves my win rate. If I trade after 8 AM, it's very, very important to do that as well. Along with the other stuff I mentioned, you know, higher time frame bias, waiting for the Asia sweep, key points of interest, etc. Okay, so at this point right here, price has come into the Asia low, taken that out, tapped into this hourly fair value gap. It was starting to reject, but I didn't take the buy just yet because I was waiting for a little bit more confirmation on the 15-minute. So I waited a bit more, and I don't think I took the trade just yet. I believe it was not here. It was the next 15-minute candle I took a trade. Yes. So right here, right? This right here is when I took the trade. And I was thinking to myself, okay, this actually looks really good. We can have a stop loss right below this for value gap, around 10 pips, which is what I like to do. We can target this high right here for, it was about a 1 to 3 when I took the trade because my entry was a little bit lower. Okay, so let's say my entry was maybe down here. Target this high right here. And that's basically the trade that I was looking to take. And the reason why I liked the entry here is because we were starting to consolidate around this hourly for value gap after taking out the Asia low. And consolidation, in case you don't know, it is a good sign that the selling pressure that we were seeing previously here is starting to diminish and buyers could come in. And we were also seeing bullish pin bars on the 15-minute time frame, such as, where are we? Such as this one right here, okay? And then also this second one right here, which is when I got the entry. So the 15-minute was looking good. And the only thing I can maybe consider was a bit risky is this candle right here on the 15-minute was a very, very strong sell candle, but it wasn't something that I was that worried about because there's been times where I've taken a trade just like this and it has won, okay? Because price has to come down to the Asia low anyway. So there's of course going to be selling pressure coming in. And you know, these big selling candles, they don't really mean a whole lot as long as the higher time frame bias is in line with the trade you're taking, which it was, which is buys. So I took a buy right here. I don't think I was on the 1 minute too much. Let me have a look and see if there was a change of character anywhere. Actually, to be fair, I might have, I can't remember exactly because it was last week that I took this trade, but I could have maybe waited for this. No, I didn't. So I wouldn't have been on the 1 minute. Sometimes I don't enter on the 1 minute. I personally don't recommend it actually. And I say to my students, you don't always need to. I teach them a way of entering on the 15-minute. And it basically means that you're less focused on the 1 minute, which means there's going to be less noise, less distraction. And most of the time that's actually better for your trading. So I would have got an entry probably on the 15-minute. And then let's play it out. You'll see it just basically went down straight away. Yeah, and just in my opinion, an unlucky trade. I don't think there was anything too wrong with the trade. I'm happy I took the trade. And if we now, and this is quite interesting, if we now go and play out price, and I'll show you guys what ended up happening and is currently happening on Euro USD, I think that right now we're going to see the start of the uptrend. And what I think actually happened, and the reason why I took the loss last week, is the market wanted to go down a little bit more, grab a bit more liquidity before starting to go to the upside and follow that higher time frame bias, which I initially was looking for. Because as you can see, this is Monday, by the way, it's the market is just open for the week. There's been a load of buying pressure just coming out of nowhere. And I think personally, this is the start now of an uptrend on Euro USD. And I'm going to even go a step further and explain to you the actual reasoning behind this. And let me go and show you the monthly time frame here. Okay, so on the monthly time frame, you need to understand, guys, this is super important stuff. Okay, when the month opens, it has to go down before it can go up because it needs to grab liquidity, generate liquidity to the downside to then fuel the move to the upside to target this high here and this high here. So what I've been saying to my community, and this is also the reason why I was so focused on buys, is I think the market's going to go down, grab liquidity, which it definitely has done right now, and then towards the second half of January, start to move back to the upside. And as you can see right here, we are now seeing that buying pressure come in, and I'm hoping that this is going to give us an amazing opportunity to take some buys this week, and the trade will be something like this, and it will be basically the same trade as I took last Tuesday, but now higher probability as we've now taken more liquidity to the downside. And at the same time, and by the way guys, remember this video because next week I'll show you the trade that I ended up taking, and you're going to see if it won or lost based on this analysis. Okay, so who knows? I might win, I might lose. I don't know yet because it's only Monday. But what I can say is the bias is looking very, very strong as DXY is respecting this supply zone, starting to look like it wants to go lower. And if that is the case, we're going to have a nice trade. Okay, so that's the loss that I took. That is also my predictions going on for next week as well. And the rest of January, I think DXY is probably going to close actually bearish for January and respect this supply zone that it's in. And you can see the selling pressure is actually coming in right now, which is awesome. So that's what I think is going to happen, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and you appreciate me being honest. I'm going to try be as honest as I can about every single trade that I take, and you guys can follow along. And if you do want to catch the same trades as me live every single day, then join my community. I'll link it below, and I'll see you guys inside. But other than that, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.